Can't date set the rapture. True, false, and no need. There is a popular preaching that the rapture is a surprise event and that it will come with no warning sign. This is false. This false teaching comes from an understanding of Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. Matthew chapter 24, KJV, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. That day and hour knoweth no man is understood as that of the second coming of Jesus Christ in verse 30, with the rapture in verse 31, in which we do not know when his coming will be. So it could come on any day or hour with no warning sign to signal it. His coming could be tomorrow, next day, next month, and on any hour. This is false. Mainstream Bible end-time prophecy preaches that the date in the year, month, day, and hour of the second coming of Jesus Christ with the rapture of the church is unknown and has been unknown since Jesus began his preachings. Only God knows. This is only partially true. That the second coming of Jesus Christ with rapture cannot be date set comes from a much popular understanding of Matthew chapter 24, verse 36, by which we do not know the day and hour of his coming. That day and hour in verse 36 is not to be understood in the literal sense. This is false. That day and hour in verse 36 could mean months, years, or even generation times. This is false. That day and hour in verse 36 is to be understood in the literal sense. This is true. Matthew chapter 24, KJV, verse 36, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Matthew chapter 24, verse 33, KJV. Verse 33. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. What things? The things we read in Matthew chapter 24 from verse 4 to verse 29. The second coming of Jesus Christ with rapture is verse 30-31. The correct understanding of verse 36 is that when you see all the things of Matthew chapter 24 from verse 4 to verse 29 fulfilled, know that the second coming of Jesus Christ, it is near, even at the doors, but the day and hour is unknown. When ye shall see all these things, verse 33. Matthew chapter 24, KJV, verse 36, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. The second coming of Jesus Christ in Matthew chapter 24, verse 36, verse 30, verse 30, with the rapture in verse 31, will come after having seen all the things in Matthew chapter 24 from verse 4 to verse 29, the second coming of Jesus Christ in verse 30, with the rapture in verse 31, is near. But to know on what day and hour of his coming, after having seen all these things from verse 4 to verse 29, that day and hour of his coming is unknown to all men. Not even the angels know, but only the Father knows. Matthew chapter 24, verse 33, KJV, verse 33. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. When you shall see all these things, from verse 4 to verse 29, you must have a little more patience. Because if on that day of verse 29, for example, is a Sunday, the second coming of Jesus with the rapture could be the day later, Monday, or even Saturday. And about the hour, it could come on any hour in the morning, afternoon, or late evening. After having seen Matthew chapter 24, verse 29, Jesus' second coming is so near that he is at the doors. Verse 33, so likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. At that point, there is no need to know the day and hour. Matthew chapter 24, KJV, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. This understanding of verse 33 and verse 36 would have the second coming of Jesus Christ with rapture. Not at all a surprise event. Thank you.